There we go. Everybody, welcome to the show. Let's change these audio settings back because I know I was gonna forget, but I didn't. How'd that intro sound? I got some advice from Rollo Tomasi on how to improve the sound of my intro. It used to apparently it was sounding like it was coming out of a trash can, which is kind of appropriate because we're all bin chickens. This is the lovely Zoe Sparx.
Hello.
Zoe, thank you so much for joining us.
It's so good to be here.
You've got such a petite voice. I'm going to move this mic a little bit closer to you.
Oh, I know. I've been told I'm very soft-spoken.
You are soft-spoken, which kind of makes sense because you're a bit of a submissive.
A bit.
A bit.
Yeah.
A bit.
It's funny that I get really shy about speaking.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for coming on then.
Yeah. No, it's like it's a little bit of a little challenge for me. So.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
Because I was telling you, I'm really quiet online. I feel like people tweet their whole lives, and I just do not tweet much at all.
Well, I don't see until recently. I was for 2 years on Twitter. All I did was just like retweet stuff that I was seen promos and
Same.
do the occasional photo from on set,
Same.
and that was really it. And I never put opinions out there.
Same.
I never did any of that stuff.
Yep.
And
I just don't have that natural inclination. Like, it doesn't occur to me to, like, I need to type this and put it out there. And I'm not shaming anyone. I kind of, like, wish I was more that way. I think I might even be more successful if I was louder.
Maybe.
But, you know.
It gets a lot of girls in trouble, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you see a lot of girls, and it gets dudes in trouble, too. But I think guys are... Here's the thing. Male porn stars, or dudes in our industry in general, kind of know to keep their trap shut.
Yeah.
Because say for example, I have an opinion that I know is going to get me in trouble, or I know is like controversial, or even could be misinterpreted.
Oh.
Slightly.
Oh yeah.
Slightly. Male porn stars or dudes in our industry kind of know just to keep that shit to ourselves.
Yeah. Well, there's the hot to crazy theory, right? Like the hotter you are, the crazier you're allowed to be.
Hot crazy scale.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess I don't know how hot I am, or how crazy I'm like allowed to be.
You don't know where you fall on that scale.
Yeah. So.
Some
like
might,
I'm learning. I'm still pushing that.
Some might call that humbleness.
Oh,
Zoe.
Jeez, thanks.
Which is a good thing.
I'm glad I didn't call myself that.
I mean, but you're right. Like I see a lot of other girls. They'll just put whatever. There's no filter. Whatever comes to their brain immediately goes onto social media.
And I think social media is like the worst part of my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, no offense, because I love seeing the love and responding to people and that's great. But really, I just love showing up on set and making porn and like going home and being done with it and being like, oh, I had an awesome day on set.
Yeah.
That's what I really, really love doing.
Yeah, so. You don't need that because I think a lot of it comes from. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Yeah, this is making sense because a lot of the younger girls they kind of need that like validation from the social media. I mean, because I'm 33. Like we didn't really grow up with.
No.
I mean, I definitely didn't grow up with like Instagram, Facebook,
right?
This kind of stuff. What with you was probably like.
It wasn't until like after like the end of high school, really. It was when people MySpace had died and everyone's starting to get on Facebook for the first time. And like, I remember when Farmville was actually a fucking thing that mattered.
And everyone's sending you Farmville requests.
I actually got on Facebook because my family was so obsessed with Farmville. They're like, we're sending you chickens. You need to send them back. And I was like, what? I haven't talked to this family in years. They're in Oklahoma. I'm like, now I'm on this thing called Facebook.
And now I've got chickens to farm.
And so that's where it all began. So yeah, I just never had that. Like,
yeah, and I think because it came in after you left high school. And I think there's a bunch of younger girls in our industry where it was their high school.
Oh, it's everything. Yeah,
is Instagram and Facebook,
absolutely.
and they learn to sort of socialize that way. So they learn rather than say like calling up their friends and talking about this stuff. They just send it out into the ether. Yes,
it's just like shouting into the abyss and then waiting to see what response they get.
Yeah, somebody gave me a great analogy for what Twitter is. Twitter is like shouting into a room where there's thousands of people in the room.
Yeah.
And because the only things that grab attention are things that are controversial.
True.
Or not the only things, but like You either have to like, there's very little room for like subtlety and nuance on Twitter.
Right, like you're saying, if it has the ability to be even slightly misunderstood, it will be, and it'll be dragged. And I think I have a very like ridiculous sense of humor, so I don't think it actually translates very well online. So that's why too.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. And not like even offensive. A lot of it's just self-deprecating, and I just don't want like people chiming in thinking I like actually don't like myself. And I'm really just
You're just trying to make a joke.
Just I don't take myself too
seriously. That definitely happens with girls in our industry. Is they'll make like, because I'll see it sometimes. I'll call them like, I'll call this stuff like it's not necessarily a thirst trap, but it's kind of like it's like a beta trap almost. It's like girls will throw something out there, which is a joke,
right?
And then all their fans will take it seriously.
And like, oh, baby, are you okay? You deserve the world. Like, you're a goddess.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, you're a goddess. Oh my god, I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Like, and they kind of, you can tell because these guys kind of haven't really interacted with beautiful women frequently.
Right.
Because people who have kind of know, they kind of see behind the curtain, like Wizard of Oz. They sort of see behind. It's like not saying that they're doing it deliberately to like manipulate and to, to trick and fool anybody.
No,
but it's like they're saying it's like being I don't want to say it like this, but it's kind of like being a cool kid in high school when they make like an inside joke.
Okay.
And then everyone else kind of doesn't get it.
Okay.
Or they take it too seriously.
Well, and see, that's another weird thing about me, though, too, is I was public school up until 9th grade. So 10th and 11th, I was independent studies, which is kind of like homeschooling, but you teach yourself all the material.
Wow.
And you report to a teacher once a week.
So you go, like physically you go to someone and report?
Once a week, yeah. You go to a classroom once a week for like 2 hours, and that was it.
Wow.
And then I would go home with all the material and teach it to myself. But anyways, I feel like I also missed out on that high school socialization, too. So I'm also kind of just like comfortable being at home and like doing my own thing and
being a homebody.
And two, I'm from LA. So I like the friends and the network that I have, like I have a really deep community here of support and like my weirdos, and they're not in the industry. So I have a hard time kind of like just hanging out with other porn people, whereas there's so many people who all they hang out with is industry folk. And I kind of like also envy that. I'm like, that might be cool if all my friends are in the biz. Then maybe I'd feel more inclined to just tweet my thoughts out into the abyss. But like, these are all just colleagues of mine, not really like
that's the thing. They're work colleagues.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And they're work colleagues you have to penetrate.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it even more awkward.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know that I know for a fact there's I've been, obviously, like I've said before, I've been more vocal on Twitter in the last, since the lockdown, right?
Okay.
Started pumping out, putting out opinions and stuff. And I know for a fact there are girls who have put me on their no list.
Because of
shit I've been saying, because I've been more
interesting,
open and vocal about my opinions.
Right.
And so it's like, that's the double-edged sword. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, they're my work colleagues, but they don't want, if I say something that pisses them off, it's not like I'm going into an office with Janice and I have to type out a spreadsheet and I need a report from her.
Right.
It's like I'm going to set and I have to put my penis inside of it. Mm-hmm. So.
And if they have one negative opinion of you, or it's just the chemistry can be completely thrown off, and yeah.
Yeah, and it makes the scene awkward, and everyone can tell it's awkward on set. This is your man, isn't it?
Oh, Victor's here. Yes, hi, Daddy.
He did this.
He's in the chat.
He did this early on. This is Zoe's daddy.
This is my lifestyle dom.
Lifestyle dom. There you go. We'll get on to that. We'll
have lots to talk about.
Yeah, there's tons to talk about there. Yes. Let's get some of the basic stuff kind of out of the way first.
Yes, please.
How long have you been in the industry? What got you into the industry?
Okay. Well, I've been performing just over 3 years.
Okay, about the same time as me then.
Yeah. And I was camming at the before porn, and I was just dipping my toes in the water. I was not really like a cam girl. I wasn't doing it full time. I was just every now and then I was doing it to see how it goes. And I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. I'm getting paid to suck a dick. I was already going to. I was on Chatterbait, and I'll never forget.
And you had a stud cock.
Yeah, I had a boyfriend, and I'll never forget. I got tipped $10 to suck a dick, and I changed my life. Right? I was like, this is awesome. I was gonna do this anyways. And it was just a tip, you know, we were doing it anyways. So anyways, I ended up being scouted by someone who was affiliated with my first agency.
I know who your first agency was.
Yeah. So
you don't mind.
I'm
You're welcome to shit talk them as much as you like. So no one. I don't think there's many people who would have a problem with me shit talking that agency.
Oh yeah, there's not much I need to say. The folks here might not know though.
But if anyone in the industry watches this, we know kind of what we're talking about. When
exactly.
We refer to Ellie.
It was my second scene ever, and I'll never forget the makeup artist was like, "Oh, who are you with?" I'm like, "Oh, Ellie Direct," and I'm so bubbly and excited and happy, and she's like, "Oh, honey, you should have talked with other people before you." And I was like, "What?"
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is my second scene. And that was the biggest red flag, and anyway, so, but I got my start, and I was scouted, and I dove right in. My first scene ever was anal, and
oh, wow.
Yeah, for Tushy with Manuel Ferreira.
Really?
Yes.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
That is an intense start.
Yes, and I loved it. I had a great time. The scene was awesome.
Of course you did.
But I had no idea that my career was being like mismanaged, and that I shouldn't have gone in and done anal my first time. I had no idea.
Yes.
But I had modeling experience. I had like music video experience. And a lifestyle BDSM experience. So I felt like, oh, I'm perfect for this. Like, I can do anything. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I kind of just got thrown in, expecting me to not last long.
And so no one sort of set you down and was like, hey, here's how we can pace you out.
Yeah, there was no like career plan. It was just like, you want to make some money real quick? Here you go.
There you go. And it's mainly your agent wants to make the money real quick.
Right. And I think part of his factory is it's like a new girl meat factory. It's like
no one comes to that agency, like no one changes to his agency.
Yes.
Ever.
No. They have a few stars who I've nothing against. They're all great performers and amazing people.
And they do, and some of them have done fantastic. Like I think you know the girl I'm referring to. She's like a superstar.
Yeah, and I've worked with her. And
me too.
And fucking like more power to her, but like I don't think that Derek has control over their lives the way he has control over all the new girls, right? So
yeah, they're hard to. They're the kind of girls. I don't think anyone would try to control them.
And so I get in. I'm treated like a new girl who's not going to last long. But what he doesn't realize is like I'm in it for the long haul, and I'm made for this shit, and I'm from LA, and I'm not going anywhere.
Exactly.
And so he couldn't really fuck with me.
Yeah. And then you sort of parted ways with an agent.
Yeah, I did, and we did that through a pretty gnarly legal battle, and that started a whole shit show of
which is very unfortunate.
All kinds of things. He's affiliated with some bad folks who run some certain blogs, and they've put out complete bullshit articles about me because I've retaliated against him legally before he could ever do anything to me.
Right. Good for you, though.
So yeah, thank you. It's like a constant battle every day. I gotta wake up and remember, like, oh yeah, I'm like kind of in a legal battle.
Because I remember you telling, because when we first worked together was. Oh, we worked twice. We worked once. New Sensations for the first time, Kink. And then Kink. Yes. Mm-hmm. Were you when was our New Sensations the one where I had you in a closet? Was that you?
Yeah.
So it was kind of BDSM-y anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Like very, very like light BDSM.
Yeah, like
diet kink.
Diet, yeah, good. Yeah. Diet kink, exactly. Mm-hmm. But that was you had a different stage name.
Yes.
Back then,
yes.
And I remember you telling me that you had to change your stage name when you left the agency because he had bought the domain.
Well, actually, he didn't buy the domain.
Oh, okay.
No, but the brand was just smeared.
Okay, so that's why.
And I felt like I didn't have any control over it, and I'd also been in a previous relationship at the time that wasn't very healthy, and like he also had a lot of influence and power over my brand, and I was just not happy with like the entire beginning of my career so you
basically wanted a sort of a rebrand.
Yeah, as best as I could.
Yeah.
And now being Zoe, I feel more true and authentic and happy and like in control. And
there you go.
Yeah, and too as Andy, that's very much a nickname that I had before porn.
And that was your old
Yeah, it was just like kind of my name.
Yeah.
And so I didn't feel like I got that experience of like becoming a porn star either. I was just like suddenly thrown in and did not know what the fuck was going on. I did not do my research. I thought that I was so prepared again because I had this modeling experience and lifestyle kink experience. So I was like, oh, I got this. But I didn't really know how the business worked.
Yeah.
I didn't really know like how you're supposed to market yourself or that even porn Twitter was a thing. I wasn't on Twitter before. I was in porn. So even that was this mind-blowing experience I had to get used to.
Yeah. So how did you get scouted exactly? He saw you on webcam and that was sort of...
Yeah, there was a scout that worked for LA Direct. I can't even remember the dude's name. But yeah, he found my camming profile and then he connected it to my FetLife profile and then contacted me that way.
Oh wow. That's interesting. I've actually always wondered how dudes scout, because it's like
Mostly
I
camming.
assumed there was a bit of camming stuff. I assumed it was like a bit of Instagram stuff, because I know that's how Nicolette Shea got scouted.
Oh really?
By Brazzers, yeah.
Oh.
Because she was a stripper.
Okay. She's like, I have such a crush on her.
Do you?
Yeah. I love like the bimbo look.
Dude, she is. Nicolette Shea's body is.
Have you worked with her?
Yes. It's like a cartoon character.
Dude, she looks like she's just like all muscle and tits.
But it's Nicolette Shea's body is so interesting because it photographs extremely well, and that but when you're there with her in person, it's like the proportions are so big.
Right.
It's like it's a surreal thing.
Right. Your brain can't really process it because it is so unnatural. Like
yeah, I'm not
like
sure
it's a beautiful. I love the look. Again, I'm a sucker for bimbo. I have
no
no modification done, but I love like
no denying it at all.
No,
but
I fucking love it.
It's just like, man, it's crazy. Drop us some. I just want to make sure we're actually still running live, because I haven't seen anyone drop anything in the chat, and you guys are normally extremely vocal. So drop us some stuff in the chat if we're still running. Yeah, we are. Cool. That's me checking on the actual YouTube.
All right.
Normally you guys are like way more like chatty. Normally there's more bin chickens in the chat, and I'm like, there's no bin chicken. I haven't seen a bin chicken for like a good 2 minutes.
I'm not very exciting.
You are exciting. You're exciting. So that's where you started. Okay. 3 years down now. How do you find it now?
How's what?
How do you find porn now?
Oh,
now you're more experienced. Now you've got more control of your brand.
Oh, every day is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like a bad day at work is still better than a bad day at Starbucks, because that's like the job I left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bingo. It is. And that's. I have to remind myself of that sometimes too. And I'm prone to having a whinge here and there,
right.
Complaining here and there.
Right.
Sometimes, especially if I have a bad day, and I'm like, look, Sterling, remember you're getting your dick sucked for a living.
Right. How bad can it be?
How bad is it really?
It comes down to your mentality and just trying to stay positive and stay in a good.
But that's like you get used. That's human nature, is to sort of get used to.
And then figure out what's wrong with it and how to make it better, which is not a bad thing. I think like having that constant self-betterment mentality is good. Yeah. But yeah, like we were saying earlier, it can be detrimental when it's like, oh, I'm such a perfectionist, I don't start anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was talking about with the stream in general, like trying to build the plane as I fly it, figure things out as I go along, instead of just needing everything to be perfect.
Yes.
Before you press the go button.
Exactly, before you even try.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, there we go. You're telling us a tale filled with drama. We're into it. Thank you, Marcel. Excellent. Good.
Please ask questions, because it's hard to connect the dots even as I'm telling the story. Sometimes, like, oh God, it was a blur.
Yeah. If you have any questions for Zoe, we'll keep talking. We'll get to them as they come through. Yeah. So let's talk about. So you had a FetLife profile. You've been in the BDSM lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Basically, my entire adult life.
Really?
Yeah.
So since you was like 18. Mm-hmm. What made you want to get into the BDSM lifestyle in the first place?
Gosh, I think a lot of it was the structure. It actually gives my life a sense of structure and almost like a spiritual connection to my sexuality. Like it gives my sexuality purpose.
How does it give you structure? I'm curious. Maybe can you elaborate a bit?
Well, for me, like before porn, a lot of my dating experience was kind of like I allowed myself to be a slut on the weekends, almost like as a reward for my hard work, or like
working your 9 to 5.
Yeah, and then I would just look forward to just getting my ass wrecked on the weekends, and having someone to report to, someone I can confide all my sexual deviancy in, gave me an ability to focus on real life and the shit that matters, because I do have such an intense sex drive.
Wow.
Kind of submitting or giving that sexual energy to someone helps me to direct that energy.
So like allowing that, so like you would sort of use that your did you have like a daddy dom like straight away, or was it sort of you were playing with multiple people when you first?
I just dated so let's back it up.
Back it.
I had a high school sweetheart from the time I was like 15 to 19. So we broke up at 19, but we'd been experimenting at like 18 and 19 with like light BDSM. But low key, it was just kind of abusive because we were dumb and young. We were both
beating your ass and didn't know.
Just shitty to each other. Yeah, like I was like, yeah. No hard feelings.
I mean, sorry to laugh at that, but
no, it's comical now. Like it is. It was really just two young, dumb, horny teenagers trying to be kinky and like having no idea what you're doing.
Yes.
And so after we broke up, and I went like 6 months without hooking up with anybody, I was so distraught and heartbroken. And then the first time I hooked up with somebody, I actually like fucked 2 guys at once, and like, oh man, it was like the greatest night ever. Like I really let my freak flag out, and they were like taking turns fucking me, and it was so cool. And then I felt like, okay, I'm back. Like I'm a grown ass woman.
You got
I'm
your
a time to
back.
date. Like I'm gonna test the waters. And I just got on dating profiles. I met a couple of doms. My first dom who I was seeing, like I would report to as master. It was kind of like master slave. That was like the dynamic.
Yep.
And to this day, he's one of my dearest friends.
Nice.
Yeah, we met when I was 20, and yeah, fuck, like, and we still kind of hook up to this day, but it's not like master slave at all anymore.
Yeah.
But I really respected this person. I think, and to this day, I think he's a really beautiful human being with his shit together, and like reporting to him, but also being like degraded by him felt fucking amazing.
So what was the reporting to him thing? This is getting me really curious. Because I don't have like. I've obviously been hired as a dom for for a BDSM dom for kink.com multiple times, because that's how we work together.
Yeah.
But
you're fantastic. We had a great time.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
But I'm not a lifestyle BDSMer.
Right.
Like, I've never been in the lifestyle, so to speak. So I'm actually quite interested in getting into the lifestyle. So I'm
awesome.
You're the second kind of sub I've had on the show, and I've had a couple of dom guys on the show.
Yeah, I listened in with the hypnotist
Ryan Christensen.
Yeah, super fascinating.
Very fascinating stuff.
I've got some weird hypno experience too, so like I would love to be more hypnotized. But
well, Ryan, if you're watching,
I need some hypnotherapy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so you said you were reporting to your master.
So I have always been very kind of self-obsessed with just self-improvement and just trying to be the best human I can possibly be. And part of that means being the best like fuck toy I can be, the best sexual creature I can be for whoever I'm with.
Yeah.
And so having someone who kind of just keeps tabs on me, but also rewards me for just keeping myself on track, basically. And that's like, coming over and fucking me every week. That's kind of part of my reward. Or punishing me by whatever creative means necessary when I'm slacking off, or I just or even if I've done something dumb, like I drank too much the night before and wasn't able to like meet up to my responsibilities or whatever, like I will beat myself up for that forever. But having someone who can actually punish me is a lot more of this like external validation, and I can just have it done. It's over with.
You can get over it.
Yes, and that's a huge part of it, is just having someone else be like, here it is, you did it, we're taking care of it, now it's done.
Yeah, you've paid your penance.
Yeah.
And now it allows you to move on.
Yes, and I don't know why it is that way, but psychologically it just works like that.
This is fascinating stuff. I love this. And so when he's when you say you're reporting back to him and he's sort of punishing you or rewarding you for things.
Yeah.
Is it stuff you're doing in your everyday life?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're reporting.
It's like making my bed and taking my vitamins,
yes,
and
yes,
fucking
yes.
exercising and paying my bills and saving money and just like
Yep.
being a responsible adult.
Yes, so he's keeping you on track, trying to make you being a responsible adult, and every time you slip up, he's letting you know about it.
Yeah. And it's also just like having a good friend to fucking talk to you, but there's like this sexual energy that's really motivating everything.
So how so what would be the difference between, because it's obviously it's a BDSM relationship. What would be the difference between, say, a reward for good behavior versus a punishment for some bad behavior?
Rewards usually gonna be like getting to come, or like, because I have such an addiction to like the magic wand. So I'm working to overcome that, and I've actually come really far. I'm really proud of.
So you're trying to wean yourself away from the Hitachi.
Yes. But for years, it was like the only way I could come. So a master or whoever's doming who would be like, you can make yourself come. And so I'd be like, oh, thank God. Otherwise, when I'm just doing my own thing and I don't have someone to report to, I sometimes get a lot out of control and will masturbate 2, 3, 4 times a day. And I start to feel like I'm wasting time, and I'm like just wasting orgasms and like just expelling this energy that I could be kind of channeling into other stuff.
Yes.
And so being able to channel that into self-improvement and even like intensifying an intimate relationship is just fucking the best.
So his punish. So was it because obviously you like BDSM, you like spankings and floggings, you like the pain aspect of stuff. So, because this is the thing that I've always kind of found fascinating is like, there's a double-edged sword there, where it's like, yes, you want to correct a girl's behavior, right? Reward her for doing the right things, right? But you also, but then when you punish her, she likes it.
So how do you use that?
Exactly.
So I like to call them punishments and punishments. And like, so with my daddy, he knows just how to spank me in a way that is just for fun. Like, it's not pushing that pain threshold.
This is your current daddy. Yeah.
And, but then there's a level of pain that he knows very well, and that's a punishment. And it's just getting to know your partner and knowing kind of how to take it to a place of like, that's uncomfortable. They can handle it, obviously, but it's a lot. It's like using different implements.
And you're going to know about it.
Like using a cane is like never really a punishment. You know, if I'm getting hit with a cane, like that's a fucking punishment.
Yes,
like,
yeah. Or like, what's it called? A dragon's tail.
Oh, yeah. I haven't actually had that in a long time.
I don't know how to wield them. I've just seen that they look terrifying.
I've been whipped properly once, I think, like with a long tail and shit.
So like floggers, for example, are an example of punishment.
Yes, floggers are great.
And crops are probably more on the punishment side.
Yes.
If you do them hard enough, they could get towards the punishment side.
If it's leaving marks, you're being punished. Right?
Yes, if you end up purple, right, and it hurts
but it's hard
to sit down.
Of my job, I can't have marks.
Exactly.
So my daddy gets really creative with punishments. Sometimes it's even just like writing something 100 times on a piece of paper back and forth, just like.
I like this. Yes. So it doesn't have to be sexual.
No, not at all.
Yes.
And that's kind of the unseen and unappreciated side of BDSM is how creative it can be and how playful it can be.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, where's Daddy when I need him? Tell me a punishment.
All right,
he's actually, I think he's officiating a wedding right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if you're officiating, is he really a reverend?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Victor, if you're still in the chat, drop some examples. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm like a little excited and hard to
just
recall.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. That's really cool. I see. I find, and this is the thing. Like I know, because I know enough people in the lifestyle, so I know elements of this, like little bits and pieces. So when I'm asking this stuff, I'm trying to put the whole puzzle together.
Right.
Because a lot of people, when they hear the word BDSM, they just immediately assume, oh, it's just about getting spanked.
It's like sadomasochism.
That's what they think it is.
So
but there's
much more.
There's layers to this.
It's so psychological.
Exactly, and there's a large psychological aspect to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you've got things that he will make you do.
Like punishment. Here he goes. He says 50 squats.
Right, good example.
Like I have to work out often as a punishment, but it's like for my own good. So I'm like doing my stuff.
Okay, here we
damn
go.
It.
Yeah, and a wall sit. Yes, this reminds me of like basketball boot camp back in high school. This is terrible. Oh yeah, edging. Good example. Yep.
Oh, that's been a new one. Yeah.
Yep.
Edging.
I love it, making girls edge. Yeah, so basically Yeah, you wouldn't get to, so you might so as a punishment you might even still do something sexual so
Right.
you can please your master.
Yes.
But you don't get to come.
Right. Well, and so as a there's a juicy one that's actually coming to my OnlyFans soon. But I was just having a little bit too much fun the last couple weeks, and I wasn't checking in as they normally do, and blah blah blah. Daddy, because we're actually long distance.
Oh, okay.
We spend months at a time together, but we
Yep.
also spend months at a time apart sometimes.
Yep.
So when he's away, he will tell me to go suck dick for him, or like a friend's dick, or just and I don't get fucked, I don't get eaten out, I don't get like anything.
You just have to suck the dick.
I just have to like go do that, and so that's what I did a couple nights ago, and like that is so exciting.
Yeah.
And I get to feel like this true slut, but I also feel like I'm safe and I'm in a controlled environment. And I even get the benefit of filming it, putting it on OnlyFans.
On your OnlyFans.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I trust my dom to always have me with people who are safe, people who are clean, people who are I don't want to expose this person's identity because they're anonymous, but they are like a medical professional, and they're just a clean cut dude.
Yeah.
Whereas like I had a dom in the past who totally over abused his power and put me in like very dangerous situations, and that was like just before porn. So I've definitely had some not so pleasant times as well. It's not been all.
Yeah, it's not all sunshine.
And I've been very lucky. Like I've had a really beautiful, exciting, like fulfilling BDSM journey, but it's still had some dark times for sure.
Yeah.
Just like any dating does, though.
Well, yeah, like you ask anybody about their exes, and they're all like, everyone will shit on their exes.
Right.
And
I really try not to do that.
Exactly, you're not doing it. But there's very few people who will be like, oh, all my exes are fantastic, and there's nothing wrong with them at all.
Right.
Like, okay.
I take some responsibility for things not working out, not being very healthy, but.
Yeah. I like it. I find it's kind of funny, like. One of your punishments for like not working out is working out.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of poetic.
Yeah.
And he's there he's like there sort of supervising. Is he there supervising you doing it most of the time, or can it just be remote? Because it's a remote relationship, it could be remote.
It's totally trust based.
Okay.
And again, that kind of fuels the psychological connection. Is like if I don't do that, then I know deep down in my core that I just lied to him, and like, but I paid my dues, but I lied. Like, why? What would be the fucking point of doing that? And so, even though we're long distance, by doing these things and obeying him, I still feel that I'm like keeping a very real connection and keeping kind of this magic alive. Really.
Do you get pleasure from service?
I do. Yeah.
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 I feel like that's a very common thing. I mean, that's like the core of being a submissive in a way. Is like deriving pleasure from not just giving pleasure sexually,
Right.
but by giving pleasure through submission.
Yeah, it's
service.
Just giving purpose to otherwise meaningless tasks and otherwise like I feel like I'm a very spiritual person without a religion. So
this is your religion.
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of like
Kink is your religion.
Yeah.
I like that.
My sexuality is my spirituality in a way.
Huh.
Yeah. So.
Well, you're in the right industry.
Oh yeah, no, that's
sure.
why it was such a bummer. I had such a rough start because I was like, oh my god, I love this. Like being on set is so fucking fun. The people behind the scenes are some of my favorite humans. Like most days you just spend all day laughing.
Yeah.
And then at the end everyone has a good like come and
you get to have an orgasm and you go home.
It's great, and
you get a paycheck as well.
Fuck. So I love it, and I just want to do this as long as I can. I want to be a MILF someday, and like I want to go through all the phases.
I mean, you got a pretty young look about you, so it might take you a while to look like a MILF.
Yeah.
Because MILF isn't just like an age thing. MILF is like a body type too.
Right.
MILF is like either like the curvy, like wide curvy hips,
right,
or like you're not jacked, but like fit,
right,
looking athletic.
I would like to be kind of like that.
I mean, that's the one that you.
Yeah,
I feel like you're gonna have to pick that one.
And someday I might get my tits done. Like I'm not against it, I kind of just like, oh.
Yeah, and then that's the kind of MILF category you'll go into. Yeah.
We'll see.
You'll evolve.
Yeah.
There was a couple of questions back in here. Where did it go? What are you going to be for Halloween? Sergio has asked.
Actually, I have 2 outfits picked out because I have plans for tonight, and I don't know what the hell I'm actually doing tomorrow, but I have an outfit I'm gonna wear just for the hell of it.
Wait, is Halloween today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
This might sound like a stupid thing to say but I'm Australian.
It's not a thing.
It's not a thing in Australia.
Oh.
Like Halloween in like Australia or England is like the pub puts up some cobwebs. And maybe like a couple of decorations,
and like maybe have a costume party. Like,
yeah. They'll have a costume. It's like it's like not a thing. We don't do trick or treating.
No.
Or any of that crap. Some
like
people
carving
try.
Pumpkins.
We don't carve pumpkins.
No.
Some people try to do the trick or treating thing, and it never fucking works because we're not Americans. It's not our thing. But apparently someone told me that Halloween is actually from the Scottish Highlands.
Is it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I heard that.
I'm not like a super spooky goth kid.
Spooky goth.
Yeah.
No.
I know a lot of people like this is their favorite time of year, and I think it's fun, but
to me it just seems like as an adult, I came to America as an adult,
right.
so I never grew up with this.
There was no charm to it. It's just
So to me it just seems like, why are you all acting like children? Like, why are you like it's like you're all going to Disneyland.
right.
Not that there's anything wrong with going to Disneyland as an adult. I've been to Disneyland, but I went with like, you know.
Did you go with some youngins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like
a good time.
it's not like. But I do know a couple of girls who go. Fuck, who was it? Adriana Chechik and Penny Pax.
Oh gosh.
When they were both living in LA, would go. They had like a season pass. They would go religiously to Disneyland.
But you know they were like doing all kinds of funky.
I don't want to think about that.
knows,
I don't want to think about that.
But I'm dressing up. I have as a black cat. Not very creative, but
a black cat.
A black cat, because I have a black cat.
So don't cross your path.
So yeah.
And you said you had a second one?
And Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, which is like an animated children's film.
I don't know that.
Hayao Miyazaki, he did like My Neighbor Totoro or Spirited Away.
Oh, yes. I know Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Are you an anime fan?
I mean, I've watched quite a few animes, but again, I'm not like an anime fanatic.
Because I know there's a few people in our industry, both guys and girls, who are not even necessarily just anime. I mean, they're fans of anime, but they're definitely fans of hentai.
I do like hentai.
Okay. I
do enjoy some hentai.
That is another common thread.
Yeah.
I've seen, especially amongst. I know a couple of dudes who are into it. Xander Corvus.
Oh, really?
I know he's into it.
Okay.
I grew up with hentai.
Did you?
No joke. Like my first, I've never told this story before, so you get it first one. So my first ever exposure to anything pornographic was me, because my brother is 10 years older than me.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he's a big fan of anime in general, massive anime fan. So much so he was on the board of directors for like the Japanese animation fans of our city. For a period, I think he might still be
president of the fan club. Basically,
he was secretary.
Yeah.
So he's massive fan of it. My first exposure of anything pornographic was because I used to jump on his computer all the time to play video games.
Okay.
Computer games as a kid.
Oh God.
And I got on his computer and I went as a fucking bratty little teenage
How old
kid.
were you? Like,
fuck, probably like.
I mean, this is like 13, 14,
10.
like, oh God.
I was probably like 10.
Okay.
And I went scrolling through his computer and I found hentai, like, comic strips.
Right. Can you remember what, like, kind of hentai it was?
I do remember one of them, yeah. It was like step son, MILF kind of stuff.
So it wasn't like monster hentai.
It wasn't monster hentai, no. It was more of like the seductive old lady preying on the young teenage boy kind of thing, which really appealed to my teenage brain.
Yes, and I'm sure that's exactly why he was like into it.
Right. Yeah. And so that was my first ever exposure to anything pornographic was hentai on my brother's computer.
Damn.
Yeah.
So did you end up getting into it from there? Or like,
not massively.
Did you like talk to him or be like, "What is this?"
No.
Okay.
God no. I was like, I don't want him to know that I found it. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not telling him anything. No, but I didn't really develop that big of a thing. Maybe when I was younger, as a teenager, I was into like anime and that sort of stuff with him. Like it was like I'd basically watch his anime.
Okay.
And then I there was a phase in my teenage years where I was like watching hentai porn a bit.
Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't my only porn. I would watch everything.
I watched a lot of Kink.com and hentai. Yeah.
And then you got to film for Kink.com.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, every time I work with Kink, it's been like totally a bucket list kind of thing. I'm like, yes.
How soon into shooting porn did you get to shoot for Kink?
Oh my God, that's a great question because I didn't get to shoot for Kink until long after I left LA Direct. So I'm like.
Wait, I thought we shot for Kink when you were still with them.
No, I had just left them and was independent. I
Oh,
believe.
wait. So I wasn't your first kink scene, surely?
No, it wasn't.
I thought I was sure you did one before me, like Upper Floor.
No,
or
because LA Direct and Kink
don't mix
book together.
That makes sense.
So, and like Kink.com was like one of the top 3 companies. I was like, I want to work with them. This is why I want to do porn.
Yeah.
And once I signed with LA Direct, I was made aware that they don't work together, and I was like, it's too late now. So, it wasn't until I was independent, but before I was at Next Level.
Huh. So that was your sort of, there was a window there when you got first booked.
Yes, yeah.
There you go.
And
was it like a dream come true?
Oh, absolutely. And it was like even better than I could have imagined. The team is just so incredible. Everyone I worked with.
And it's such a safe environment.
Ugh.
For you to explore anything.
It's incredible.
You wanted to explore.
Yeah, and I feel like I have more than one dom at any point in time, like because I just have multiple handlers. So it's like, you know, there's someone doing the rigging, but then there's my male talent, and then there's like someone who's like, "Do you need water?" And I'm just like tied up, like I feel so spoiled.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, and that kind of ties into this Carl's question. What's your favorite type of scene to shoot? I'm not going to be surprised at the answer.
Ooh.
Well, maybe I am. Am I going to be surprised by the answer?
That's a good question. I'm like, I just enjoy so many different types. I think kink.com scenes, all of them have been just great in their own unique way. But my favorite type of scene to shoot is probably just gangbangs in general.
I was just about to ask, have you done a gangbang?
Yeah, I did a bound gangbang.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you combined both.
For Aiden Star, yeah.
Yeah, so you got both of them. That makes sense then.
Because I watched a lot of gangbang porn too. That was like, it was like DPs and gangbangs. That's what I watched.
When you were masturbating.
Yeah, before
porn.
Yeah.
So it was like, and I think hentai has a lot of that.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah, I need it to be so overwhelming and like so overstimulating. I need there just to be so much going on that it's hard to process. Like that's what I like.
As in mentally or physically?
I mean, physically creates that mental. You know, like if there's just like more dick than you can actually
then you can actually handle it. It's a very overwhelming experience.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's it's good to hear that out of the horse's mouth for once. Because
yeah.
I've always got that impression because I've been in lots of gangbangs. And you see the look on the girl's face.
Oh, it's great.
She's just like
so like blissed out to me.
It's like she's not even there. She's just like in a different fucking space.
Yeah, it's like animalistic as fuck.
Yeah, and you can tell they're really into it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of girls in this. Like, again, talking about like trends and just patterns I notice. Hentai porn amongst the girls. Hentai porn is a pattern I've noticed, and gangbang DP porn is a pattern I've noticed.
That makes me feel better. Yeah. I know there's a lot of female performers that like only watch girl stuff too, or even just normal girls that I've met. They're like, I only watch girl, and then I tell them that I've done double anal, and they're like, what is that? You know?
Dude, I was on a podcast. And because you've shot in Europe.
Yes, for legal porno.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a different thing we can segue to. But I remember mentioning legal porn. I was on a Donovan Sharp's podcast, and he didn't really ask it specifically. I think he was like, "What's the craziest thing in porn these days?" And I was like, "Oh, probably triple anal."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I didn't even know they did double anal." What? He was like blown away by it.
I've done double, and my fans immediately were like, "When are you gonna do triple?" And I'm like, "What?
I just put 2 dicks in my ass."
Just enjoy it for a minute, God.
Chill out, man. Give her a break. Like, let the hole at least come back to like a reasonable shape.
It's no fun.
Adam asked, have you ever been offered a trip to Dubai?
Oh yeah.
Oh, have you really?
Oh yeah.
In your this is a good question. Thank you for reminding me of this thing, Adam.
Yeah.
In your Instagram DMs and stuff.
In DMs, yeah.
Really? So
I think most of them are totally full of shit, but
okay.
like.
Were they like pretending to be an Arab prince?
Yeah, there's some of that.
Did they have a big following? So it was just a small account.
Yeah.
Who's like, I'm an Arab prince.
And there'll be like 5 or 6 really random pictures with like cars or something. You know, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Does that happen multiple times?
A few times. I mean, I can't really, like, if I was scrolled through my inbox, they're
you
so far gone. I mean, I probably couldn't even find it, but
yeah. But it has happened.
Yeah.
And here was you before we went live. I asked you, have you ever had like celebrities and things slide in your DMs and you're
But
like,
not like
and you're
celebrities.
well,
I don't get any football players.
But he could be an Arab. He could be an Arab
He could
prince.
be an Arab prince. Yeah, I've just never heard of him.
You don't.
Sorry.
You might have to like go to Wikipedia and check the.
Yeah.
Check if this guy's
But
actually.
no blue checks.
No blue check marks have slid into your DMs.
No. But I wondered if too, because part of my brand has always been that like I have a person, so I don't know if that like wards off people.
And your brand has probably also been a bit like being like being BDSM-y and a bit more intense.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like I answered somebody asked a question once like should I be worried if my ex as a guy should I be worried if my girlfriend's ex had a bigger dick than me? And I said to them, maybe, but I'd be far more worried as a guy if your girlfriend's ex was a BDSM dom. Because if you're a regular dude, nothing you're doing is comparing to that experience she's had.
True.
So you're always falling short of her sexual best.
That's kind of true. Yeah.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am constantly being proven right.
I have some boyfriends who like part of the appeal is that it's not kinky, but they would never be like in my priority list.
It's okay to tell the truth on this show. Yeah. That's what this show is all about. You know, uncomfortable truths. You know, I'm not about sugarcoating shit.
Yeah, that's why I kind of came here today. I was excited to just kind of crack open my own shell and kind of break out of that cocoon.
Because a lot of the guys who watch the show, they're not necessarily porn fans, but they're curious about
naturally,
the porn industry, as most people are.
So much to learn, yeah.
Because there's so much like our industry is so kind of secretive and like closed off, cliquey, you might say.
Oh yeah, we keep secrets from each other.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the big thing. Like we don't even talk about shit like learning how to do things successfully. You know, even something as simple as like what are the best methods for best practices for running an OnlyFans account.
Right.
Girls won't talk to each other about it.
No.
You know?
No.
It's very secretive. So it's like no wonder it's even more curious for outsiders. But I don't like to sugarcoat things for the dudes who watch this show. I want to give them like real insights. Yeah. Which is fantastic that you're open and honest about that.
I'm trying. It's
It's good.
Again, I come from being really quiet, so it's like when I do open my mouth, I just want it to be real. And that's the thing too, with my OnlyFans and all my social media. Like I run everything. I don't have anyone managing for me. So that's also part of the reason why I can't fucking keep up. But if you do hear from me, you know it's me. And it's genuine. And
there's only one other girl that I mean, I don't know all of them.
Right.
I was gonna say one of the top girls that I know runs all of her shit is Adriana Chechik.
Yes.
I know she does.
Yeah.
Cause she's a fucking workaholic.
Yes.
But there's a lot of other girls who are in that same category, like that top. There's in top blah percent of OnlyFans or however they're making however much a month. I know a lot of them are having shit run by somebody else.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I can't imagine doing it myself. I mean, being on that level.
Yeah.
I can work slowly towards that someday, but like right now, if that happened overnight, my mind would explode.
Because that's the thing,
holy shit.
It's actually impossible.
It is.
If you get to a certain size,
if I can't respond to people.
Yeah, because if you get to a certain size of the OnlyFans account, it's literally impossible for one person to be talking to everyone, to be responding to all the messages and all the time, because you've got fans from all over the world, right? So when these girls have someone managing their accounts, it's because there's someone. It's so someone's there responding 24/7.
Exactly.
Because they have fans from every time zone.
Right, and I like to run away to the desert quite often and like be off the grid and shit.
Me too.
Like,
I don't like fucking. That's why my OnlyFans account. If anyone is watching who's a fan who's on my OnlyFans account, you'll notice I haven't really responded to DMs because I'm just too focused on this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a sort of. I'm actually considering even shutting it down because I'm like I don't like not giving the value.
Exactly. Yeah. Same.
Yeah, and just like cutting up. Because a lot of my stuff on my OnlyFans is aimed more towards my gay fans.
Oh, really?
So I film. So I'm basically I'm still having sex with chicks.
Right. But
I'm just filming it so my butt is in the shot.
Ooh, that's like
it's
something I want.
The opposite angle of what we would do for regular porn.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that's kind of my way around.
That's really clever.
That. But they want to DM me a lot, and I can't really dirty talk with gay men.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
like, if
it's not what you're into, then you're kind of just bullshitting it.
Yeah, and even then, I can only bullshit it for like a message or two.
Exactly.
So it's not like there's much back and forth.
Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm struggling with it, and I'm better at other things, like this,
which is great.
for example.
You're doing great. I've been tuning in. It's really
yeah,
enjoyable.
Zoe has been tuning in. She's been in, if you actually have been if anyone has been watching a lot of these streams, you'll see her comments popping up in the live stream. I've noticed them. It's much appreciated. Let's cover a couple more questions before I roll into what was I going to talk about? You brought up something and I was going to.
We were gonna go into like legal porno.
That was it. Yes. Double anal stuff. We'll get into that.
Oh yeah, that's a whole can of worms.
Wait, Salaman, are you talking about Halloween here? Did I get it wrong? Is it? And I appreciate the compliment and calling me a colonial. Much appreciated. I am from God Save the Queen. I am from the colonies. Can't deny it. I think you might be referring to Halloween then. So maybe Halloween is actually.
I think so because you said it was from Scotland.
I said it was from Scotland.
Yeah.
I thought I heard that. Maybe I'm wrong. But what do I fucking care? It's not my holiday. I don't give a shit. Long-term career plans after the adult industry.
I honestly,
like you just said, you kind of want to keep going and be a MILF for
I would love to run this train as long as I can.
Yeah. Choo, motherfucker.
Yeah, I think it'll always be a part of my life. I know that lifestyle BDSM is always going to be a part of my life. I really enjoy this, and then it's become such a part of who I am. I haven't thought about after porn, but God forbid I get canceled.
I don't think you'll get canceled.
I'm like, oh my God.
You don't really seem like you do anything that's cancel worthy. So, I mean, come on.
But even that doesn't stop people from saying real nasty shit and like it's completely not true. And
Look, here's the thing. Like the only people who can cancel someone in this industry are women.
True.
Dudes can't cancel you.
Right. It's when the hordes of women turn against. That's like, yeah.
Correct. I don't know if you see. So there's a couple of girls who've been outspoken politically on Twitter.
Yes.
In our industry, and they're getting a shitload of hate.
Yes.
From the other girls.
Yeah.
That is basically as far as it can go.
That's true.
Right.
Right.
Because even if like, okay, a blogger wrote a smear piece about you, everyone will still like. No director is reading that.
No.
Okay. One director doesn't want to shoot. Maybe one director doesn't want to shoot you because you have an opinion of some kind. Okay. Like there is a lot. Like as a female talent, that's not that big a deal. There's a lot of. Maybe it's like for a big company. Okay, that would suck.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of companies.
Yeah.
A lot of directors.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about it.
Like with a dude,
I get called back, so.
Exactly, and you get called back. And with a guy, it's like all it takes is for like one chick to say some nasty shit about you on Twitter, and because no one verifies or fact checks, and like I said before, Twitter isn't about nuance. So it's like something might get misinterpreted. A chick puts out some bad news about a dude, and then everyone assumes that it's true.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone jumps on the
Just
bandwagon,
snowballs.
and boom, his career's over. Not saying, and there's been a few guys that have been cancelled, kind of, in the quarantine period. Not saying they didn't deserve to get cancelled.
Right.
Because I know some of them absolutely fucking did.
Yeah.
But there was a couple that I know didn't.
Totally.
So it's
totally.
like.
Well, and like, God forbid anyone chime in to support or be like, hey, I don't think that's fair. Because then you get
piled on, baby.
Yeah.
Then you get fucking piled. Absolutely right.
So.
Oh, Silamain has elaborated. It's called Samhain. It's one of the 4 Gaelic seasonal festivals, along with Imbolc, Beltane, and Luganasa. I'm butchering those words, I know I am. But thank you for the shit I learned on this stream that I did not expect to learn.
Yeah, we're teaching each other.
About,
Not cool. It's going both ways.
Sterling Cooper and the Hentai Step Curse. That sounds like a good title for some fan fiction right there. He said
he called it.
Called it as a gangbang. Nice work, Victor. Where we go. Interesting question. Most of adult entertainment and adult entertainment staff tend to lean more to the left or to the right pertaining to politics? Heavily to the left. Heavily to the left, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very much so. Because you see any like, I'm libertarian. Like, I just want to be fucking left alone.
Yes.
That's my political stance. Is like, just leave me the fuck alone.
Yes.
And the less taxes I have to pay, the better.
Yes.
All right. So basically, don't tell me what to do with my life. I won't tell you what to do with yours.
Exactly.
And we're happy. But most most of the industry tends to lean heavily towards the left.
Yeah,
and you see
like political activists are in the industry are always left. Yeah.
So you'll see.
Well, and if you come out
as right,
you're like canceled.
Yeah, and I think the couple of girls I was referring to.
There's a handful,
who've sort of said that openly. Here we go. Nathan. Zoe, what are some of the best traits and life lessons that you've developed and strengthened as a result of being part of this industry?
Damn, loaded.
Good question.
Okay, what are some of the best traits? Being honest about what I want.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Huge. Because
setting boundaries on set in that way, or more about just like sexually.
Even like it's just in my personal life, being able to communicate like this is how I want this, or like more of this, less of that, or because before I used to be just such a receiver, just like kind of do whatever.
You'll take what you're given.
Yeah, but now that I've had so much exploration, I know exactly how to push my buttons, whereas before I didn't.
Which is interesting, considering you had such an experience in BDSM. I would have thought.
Yeah, but I still didn't have a lot of experience in like self-exploration and like really figuring out how to get myself off. This last year alone has been filled with growth in that department. But gosh, what else?
Victor's got to bounce out. Thank you for joining the chat, Victor. Very good to see you here. Also, Ryan, yes, reminder everyone, smash that like button while we still got plenty to talk about. Hit that like button, helps it show up on everyone's feed. And obviously, if you're new to the channel, give it a subscribe. We just cracked 2,000 subs, everybody. We just cracked 2,000 subs last night, and we've only been going for like a month and a half.
That's awesome.
So the League of Extraordinary Bin Chickens is growing rapidly every day. There's going to be no trash left to eat in the world with this many bin chickens. It's fantastic. Have you worked with this girl?
No.
I've not. I don't know that.
I think I've met her.
I don't even know the name.
No, I think I've met her at like an event. But
yeah.
There's dozens of names like that though. I'm like, I know I've seen them, but I haven't had sex with them.
Man, there are so many and there's a lot of girls who have the same like half of a name.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's a lot of like repeat last names too.
So it's so confusing at times. I'm like, who am I working with today? Have I fucked them?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, especially if they're a newer girl, and I haven't they're sort of not. You haven't heard of them for years.
Right.
You've only heard of them. They've only been around for like 6 months or something. You're like, God damn it, do I know this girl? Do I not know this girl? How many Aussies are in the American porn scene? 2. Me and Angela White.
Yeah.
That is it. 2 people. Yeah. I am the only Australian man to shoot porn out of Australia. Actually, no, it's a lie. It's one dude. One dude who did it.
Really?
One guy who did it. He still shoots porn in Australia. His name's Ryan James. He's also an escort, a very, very successful escort. So he does more escorting than anything else. But he shoots porn in Australia. He has shot a couple of scenes in America, I believe. It was either America or Europe. He shot a couple.
Fly him out here.
He came out here. It kind of did what I did when I first came out here. You came out here and you did your feet. So he literally shot 2. But I am, apart from him, he's the one other exception. I am the only other dude to ever only other Australian dude to make it in this industry.
Damn.
I hold that badge with pride.
That's awesome.
Because it's not fucking easy to get into the industry as a dude in the first place.
No, but let alone coming in from like the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I'm from LA, so I just was I have a
Born
loving
in it,
support
yeah.
system. My family doesn't give a shit. They it was not hard.
Yeah, how did your family? Because did your family sort of know you were in BDSM before porn?
They knew I was like a wild one.
Right.
I'd be going on dates on the back of a motorcycle and
way to be a stereotype.
Oh,
fuck you, Dad.
Yeah.
You flip him off.
With my leather jacket, butt plug in.
Say that again.
It was like a
leather jacket on a motorcycle with a butt plug in.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Oh god, it was so fun.
It's fucking hot.
Yeah, the guy had nipple piercings. I'd diddle his diddles while I'm riding.
You tiddled his diddles.
Or diddled his tiddles, yeah. Woo.
You're coming up with all kinds of phrases. Do you have any thought? Do you know what the word simp is?
Yeah, I'm kind of new to it though. I've heard it thrown around.
Because it's been thrown around. It's been popularized a lot on Twitter these days. Any thoughts on simps? I mean, they're basically our fans.
I don't think they deserve like the shit they're getting.
There we go.
But
correct answer for a porn star.
Yeah. Because there's some guys I guess who simp over me, but like that consistent appreciation like goes a long ways. You know.
I mean, you're not liking it.
No, yeah, but I don't know. It's not that I feel bad either, but I wish that like I could help them in their personal life more than just being like a fantasy. Like, you know, well, like
that's actually
like,
really
I would be
interesting
so
insight.
happy to hear if they found a real girlfriend or something. You know, that would make me happy to hear instead of like being this thing that's eternally unattainable.
That is a really cool response.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I kind of just wish the best for everyone, right? I'm like, I'm not like, oh, this guy's a loser.
That's a good sub. That's a good sub right there.
Thanks. Yeah. I try to see the best.
Oh, I actually have. Actually, no, I haven't shot with Savannah Bond. And yeah, these are actually Australian porn stars who have. They're not here right now, so I kind of lied when I said. Then they said how many Australians are in the industry. Savannah Bond, Isabel Del Toro have both come out to America and shot at America at one point, and Andy Adams is another one, and so is. She's gonna kill me because we're friends. Aubrey Black is another one. So there's like 4.
Is there a lot of porn
In Australia?
being made in Australia?
No.
Oh.
There's like 2 companies that shoot boy girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there's a lot of girls who are attractive who do stripping and escorting.
Content creating and
yeah.
stuff, right?
So a few of them, like the ones we've just mentioned, will come out to America and shoot.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have not shot with Savannah Bond. I have shot with Andy Adams. I haven't shot with Aubrey Black. And Isabel Del Toro, I haven't shot with, but she's an old friend of mine. I actually watched her win her last is it Miss Universe? No, it's like an international pole dancing competition.
Really?
Yeah, she won it when I was in Melbourne last time, and I actually watched her win it live. It was fantastic.
I love strippers.
Yeah, strippers are I say this all the time. Strippers are the best in bed.
Yeah?
Hands down.
Really?
The best sex I had ever had in my life is not even like strippers who've become porn stars. Right. Just strippers who are still strippers.
Strippers, yeah.
Fuck me, they're amazing.
Really?
Because they're coquettes. A coquette is like sexual push-pull. You know when like you're like.
I've not heard this one.
Coquetting is. That's an easy way to describe coquetting. It's like. Okay, say for example, here's the way I would coquette a chick. Say for example, if I brought you home,
okay.
I slammed you up against the wall, made out with you, and then I broke it off and walked away.
What? Like.
Hot, cold.
What? That's a thing.
That's called coquetting. That's the concept. So the way, for example, the way a girl might do it is a lap dance.
Okay, so like
Grinding
get you super turn on and then like, all right, I'm done with you.
Yes.
And now you got to get me back again.
So no, it's not even the fact that you got to get them back again. They just they build you up and then they don't finish. But the reason why strippers are so good in bed is because they do that for their day job.
Okay.
But when you get to fuck them, you get to fuck them.
Okay.
Right. So they get all the build up. They know how to build a guy up and turn a guy on.
So is there like lots of fantastic foreplay and like just this fucking performance art that they put on?
It's just, I mean, not even,
Like...
I'm not even interested in the performance art, but they sure as hell know to turn a guy on. Okay. And then you get what they don't give anybody else.
Okay.
So
it's a release for them too.
Exactly, because they themselves,
they're building themselves up like subconsciously.
Bingo, because they're doing it all day. So that when they get to release,
yes,
and they give it to you,
now it makes sense.
It's like it's just all this fucking energy is
it's like volcanic
on your dick.
Yeah,
alone. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That is so cool. I've never.
Yeah, maybe I'm talking up strippers too much.
Hooking up with strippers is such a like mythological thing.
Mythological
right?
thing. Well, it's I've done it and it's fun.
I've only been to one strip club. I'm like
really
to Jumbo's here in LA.
No way.
Like good old fucking Jumbo.
I had a stripper in my DMs just invite me out to her work tonight.
But I think strippers are super cool. I just
want to go to a strip club tonight.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
If I wasn't going out to the desert.
Oh, that's what you got. You got things to do.
Yeah.
There was another question here. You've kind of already answered this a little bit because you have a daddy. Like, what's your sex life, Abs?
Oh, it's been pretty good.
It's been pretty good. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Been having more orgasms than ever.
Well, there you go. Good. Yeah. You found yourself a good daddy.
Yeah.
This is a good question from Nathan. What are some BDSM practices you think are the most applicable to vanilla people that usually wouldn't consider BDSM that would get them hooked to the concept? So what are some let's just break it down to the first part. What are some BDSM practices that are most applicable to vanilla people?
Fuck. Oh man. I think orgasm control is probably a good place to start.
That is really
whether it's his or hers or whoever's.
Yeah. Yeah, because it doesn't require any. That's a good answer. It doesn't require any equipment.
Right.
Any knowledge of how to use said equipment.
You can do it even while you're at your vanilla job, like
yep.
you know,
with a remote control vibrator. That shit's fucking fun. Yeah. Also, orgasm, like just it's as simple as making her beg.
Yes.
To come.
Please, I'm so close.
Like
I've been edging all day.
and pulling if she doesn't say yes, pull your dick out.
Yes.
And punish her for that's the punishment. It's basically like you're fucking. She's telling you she's about to come. You're like, really? Fucking beg for it.
And if she doesn't
beg for it. Boop.
Yep.
Pull that fucker out, and you see that look in her eye.
And by the time and then if you do that once or twice, by the time she actually gets to come, like it's gonna be explosive.
And that's the concept of edging. So you do that a couple of times where you build her up, and then you pull away, make her come down a little bit, like calm down a little bit, build her up again, pull out, she calms down a bit. It just then it's sort of like you're ratcheting it up.
Yeah.
You're ratcheting it up. And then when she does eventually pop, it's even bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's fucking fun.
That's where a lot of it started for me too. It's just
that's where it started.
Yeah, like again, I worked at Starbucks before porn, and I would like be wearing a vibrator.
A remote control vibe.
Yeah,
that's
which
hot.
is like fucking dangerous to be honest. There was a time when I like handed out hot coffee and was like,
I used to. That was something I used to do with girlfriends on date night. Is I'd make them wear a remote control vibrator, and I'd go to a bar where I either knew the wait staff or the bouncer or something.
Okay.
And then whenever someone would come up to talk to them, I'd be like, "Oh, hey Zoe, this is so and so."
So they're in on it.
Click. No, they wouldn't. No one else knew.
Oh.
Only me and her knew.
Oh, okay. But you're.
But they're having a conversation with one of my friends, and they know it's one of my friends.
Okay.
So I'm kind of trying to embarrass them.
Right.
So I'd like, "Hey Zoe, this is so and so," and then I click when they shake their hands and like start talking to one another. So she's trying to hold her composure, be like, "Hey, nice to meet," and she just looks like a retard.
Oh my god, I love it.
It was very fun.
That is
very
fun.
fun. I recommend.
They never really make me come. Like I like one of those.
Yeah,
things,
they're not great for making girls come, but they're
perfect tease. Like
yeah, that's exactly it. It's just a tease. It gets you fired up. So when you do get the girl home, the sex is explosive.
Exactly.
You guys take that, steal that, implement it in your own life. That was a great question, Nathan. Thank you. We're smashing the like button. I have not worked with Nina Milano, but she is also Australian. She hasn't really shot out here though, as far as I'm aware. Have you worked with this man?
Oh gosh, once I did for Swallowed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She worked with Mike Adriano once as well.
Yeah.
He does a lot of butt stuff though. So
I know. I'd really love to work with him.
But as far as I have heard, he likes porgs.
Yeah.
He likes the big booties.
Yeah, and I'm very petite.
You're petite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that because Harmony Wonder told me that. Because she shot for him.
Okay.
And she was like, yeah, he's kind of more... And she's like a tiny twig in the thing.
Spinners too.
She's a spinner, yeah. He's not really into spinners.
No? Okay.
As far as I'm aware. He's more into like...
That's the thing too, is I'm tall too. So like some dudes are like little...
Some dudes are just little.
They're just little.
Overwhelmed.
You know?
Is that ever a thing for you? Like the height of a dude?
Sorta.
Being a taller girl?
Sorta, yeah. I mean, I naturally am attracted to taller men.
As every woman is.
Yeah. But that's not to say I haven't dated men shorter than me.
Haha.
Yeah. And
have your doms been shorter than you?
One.
There you go.
Yeah. The first guy who I still see.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
This guy who you had a really good connection with.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
It's not all about height, lads. It helps, but it's not all about it.
It's hot, like...
You can overcome it.
When I'm taller than you, and then I get on my knees, and all of a sudden I'm smaller than you, and I'm like, fuck. Like, that's kind of a fun contrast. Like,
Oh,
going out,
yeah.
especially if I'm like in heels and I'm really tall, like.
And then he puts you on your knees.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, now I'm down here.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I think I had a tweet about that a month ago. So it was like, life hack, ladies. Every guy is taller than 6 feet when you're on your knees.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if more women just took that approach, everyone would be happy. Have either of you worked with Daisy Stone or Mackenzie Reeves? I think you mean Kenzie Reeves. And I've worked with both of them, and they're both fucking fantastic.
Yeah. No, I can't say I have.
Kenzie Reeves is just she's the cutest, the penultimate performer.
Yeah.
She's perfected the Ahego face.
Yes.
She's the best at it in the world.
Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's.
I don't get to work with enough girls.
Yeah, you don't get to that much girl. It's because you're greedy and want all the gangbangs.
And I'm such like an anal queen.
Yeah. Girls don't do that much anal stuff to each other, unless it's for kink, and it's like what is it, like whipped ass or something like that? Everything ass. Yeah, this.
I did a scene with Adriana Chechik, and she like tried to destroy my asshole. It's pretty great.
Good for her. Yeah. Good for her. Thank you very much for the super chat. How to kill friends and influenza people. The £2, much appreciated. Thank you for supporting the channel. Question about jizz: do women go crazy for it?
If I really like you, then I'm crazy about your cum.
That is a great answer.
Yeah.
That's a very eye-opening answer, lads.
Yeah. If I really like you, then like I want your cum, like because I know that I'm
in you or everywhere.
All of the above. Yeah.
Yeah. If they can do multiple holes at the same time, even better.
That'd be great. Yeah. But it's, if they can come multiple times and it's like, wow, I got one in my ass and I got a small one. Great. Like that's fun.
There's your answer. Ta-da! I love how honest you are. Thank you, Zoe. This is good. This is good.
Should do this more often.
Yeah, right. We haven't seen each other in fucking forever.
I know.
But it's because you had surgery. So, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah, that's a, a big chapter.
Big chapter in your life. You had a don't get your titty out.
Yeah. So
otherwise our stream is done.
1, 2, and 3.
It was a heart surgery.
Well, it was an implantation of an ICD. So
what's an ICD? It's
an internal cardio defibrillator.
Oh wow.
So it works. It doubles as a pacemaker as well.
Oh.
So 99% of the time it is electrocuting my heart to keep it pulsing.
Keep the rhythm.
And then if needed, it will defibrillate me.
Wow.
So
if it stops beating, it'll like automatically.
Just like when the paramedics come and shock
you. So
you
you
back.
have an inbuilt paramedic in your chest.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's amazing.
So December 22nd last year, I went into cardiac arrest.
Wow.
And I lost consciousness for 7 minutes. I was actually with my first master at the time, and he saved my life with CPR.
Wow.
Until the paramedics arrived, and I was defibrillated twice before I regained consciousness, and I spent the next few days in the hospital. It's where I had my implant done, and I was released on Christmas Day. So, but I've actually had a pacemaker since I was 15.
Huh.
And what's really crazy is I had my pacemaker replaced for the first time just 2 weeks before the heart attack. So this scar is from when I was 15. And then routine, just like I'm supposed to do every 10 or so years.
Replace it.
You replace it. And so that's what this scar was. I had it replaced. And 2 weeks later, I had a heart attack. And it was...
Was it because the pacemaker had fucked up? Or
No, the pacemaker did its job. Huh. It was keeping me paced. My heart was actually racing so fast that I wasn't getting oxygen to my blood or my brain.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was kind of... Because your heart can either like stop beating or it can race so fast that it's like kind of spasming and blood isn't pumping.
Yep. So did you realize what caused that?
So many factors.
Oh, okay.
So it was a cocktail of reasons.
So it's not a case of like if you are in bed with someone and you're really excited, you're gonna have a heart attack.
Right. And to be honest, I was in bed.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
I was actually having a threesome, but get this, we were having one of those like 10-minute breaks where you're just kind of like sitting there laughing, naked, chilling in the bed, like
and that's
nothing was crazy happening, and I just like went, whoa, I don't feel good. I think I'm gonna pass out, and I did. And I lost consciousness, and I just went back. And so yeah, then I woke up in a stretcher and was like, what the fuck?
You had a heart attack during a threesome. That is.
But there was a multitude of factors. I was on an antibiotic that was creating my heart to race. I was vaping like fucking ridiculous. I haven't vaped since that day.
Good.
I was just extremely stressed and just unhappy in many ways. And then I'd had like a 4-shot latte, and it was just so many things that I should not have been doing.
Your heart's like jacked
and
up.
it was 2 weeks after this surgery. So,
right.
you know, I was just not taking care of myself, and it was a huge wake-up call.
Yeah, I'll bet. And so you had to take several months off of porn after that as well.
Yeah, so, and I recovered just barely enough to go to AVN. So I went to AVN, and that was kind of my like, hey, I'm back, I'm alive. Yeah. But then fucking a month and a half later, everything shuts down.
You know, COVID was at AVN.
Oh, I bet.
100%. There was 100% COVID at AVN, because I know directors who drove back from Vegas to LA.
Okay.
Like a pair of them, they were driving back, and one of them was sick. He's so sick he couldn't drive.
Well, because there's the avian flu that everyone gets, but it was so gnarly this year. And
he got tested. He had the COVID antibodies.
I'm not surprised.
So 100% COVID.
I did not get sick miraculously. Like,
neither did I.
Oh my God.
Year,
and I usually get the avian flu.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it was COVID.
But I came in with my vitamins, and I got my sleep, and like I was taking care of myself this
especially
year.
because of all this.
Yes.
That's incredible. I didn't know that story. That's probably the gnarliest story that has been ever told on this show. And we've had a few gnarly stories, but no one's ever had a heart attack during a threesome. Like you have.
I was really reluctant to share that detail about it at first, because there's just so many judgmental assholes who could just be like, you shouldn't have been, like, what was he choking you out? Like,
okay.
You know, so like, but it wasn't anything crazy. It
but
really,
it happened during the break.
I was literally sitting there just chilling, and my heart just started going like, and I passed out.
Yeah. I like this, Davina. AVN flu, not the avian flu.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's the avian flu.
AVN flu, yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God, my mom's here.
Where? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we won't dox her.
That's okay. It's not my last name.
This is a cool question.
Mom.
I'll get through these. Nathan's got some great questions. I'm just going to keep asking. You don't mind answering the
these are great. Yeah.
Because these are some great questions, and it's just taking us off on tangents, and I like tangents.
Yeah, I'm not a great conversation starter, but I will respond.
Right. That's why I find these shows a hell of a lot easier than my normal solo shows. That's why I've been scheduling the fuck out of this last week. I've had like a million guests on. It's been great. We will get to the legal porno stuff.
Yes.
Because it's one of my favorite topics is like European porn. So we will get to that.
And there's also there's a great story there too, because after I came back, this is when my defibrillator went off.
Oh fuck.
So the whole
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So Nathan's other question was, how often is peer pressure prominent within the industry, and has it ever occurred for either one of you with some things that you necessarily involved with? If so, how would you deal with it? Second half of the question I don't really understand. Oh, has it occurred? Basically, I think what you're saying is, have we been asked to do peer pressured into doing things we wouldn't do on set? It's not. Well, for me, it's not peer pressure; it's director pressure.
Yeah.
It's like the director trying to get you to do stuff. And for me as a dude, it's less about like the sex act, and it's more about, hey, fuck in this really uncomfortable position on this really uncomfortable piece of furniture.
This completely unrealistic, almost impossible thing.
Yeah, position for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And so we can see. So for me, it's about like putting my foot down and being like, dude, my dick's gonna go soft if we do this for like more than 2 minutes.
And I actually really appreciate when male talent steps up and does that, because I'm like, this is putting so much strain. It's gonna make the next position 10 times harder. And
it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
No.
It doesn't look good for the camera. Everyone likes to see people enjoying themselves.
Right.
The porn looks better.
Yeah, but they're so obsessed with the penetration. But
well, yeah.
So for me, I can't really say like I've dealt with much peer pressure.
Yeah, not peer pressure really. Like we don't get pressured for. I mean, like
you get fan pressure. Like, oh, you've done double anal. When are you doing triple? Like,
three dicks in your ass.
Oh my God.
This is a good question from Typical Bin Chicken. Do you like having your butt eaten?
You know what? Yes, but it doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of nerve endings there. Like it's pleasant.
Probably because you've had 2 dicks in there.
Maybe. At no point was ever like really coming from
anal.
Yeah, or no, I come from anal.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But just having my butt licked doesn't really do a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
It's more of psychological, like a.
But Typical Bin Chicken, I agree with what you're saying. It seems more of a trend now, especially with like a lot of younger girls eat man ass.
Yeah.
Way more than.
Like, that's kind of new to me too in my personal life. Is like I didn't start eating like men's butts until porn really.
Until you got four.
So that's kind of a
maybe
peer
that's
pressure
peer pressure. Maybe that's a peer pressure
yeah.
thing. Hey, everyone else is doing it, kiddo. Why don't you jump on the bandwagon?
Yeah, since it's so great, I gotta try it out.
But you like serving.
I do. So like, and it seems to make men feel better than girls. Like whenever I eat a man's ass, like he reacts way more than a woman does.
Well, because it's more. We've had less of it done.
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
Like when I'm going down on it, if a girl's butt is in my face, I am eating her ass.
Right.
100% of the time.
Like it totally turns me on, but the actual feeling is not that spectacular.
Yes.
It's very psychological there too.
Yeah, correct. I completely agree with that with that aspect, because that's why I'm doing it.
Right.
I eat a girl's ass not because it's physically pleasurable, it's because it's turning me on.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's perverted.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, okay, good question, typical bin chicken. You guys are asking some fantastic questions today. That's a good one. Have you ever done golden shower scenes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Legal porno.
Oh, okay. Well, let's save that.
Yeah.
For the legal porno question.
Yeah.
I will try to get the. Oh, this is the last question. Here we go. Yeah. Do you tend to work harder and give your best best performance with top tier male performers compared to top tier adult male performers compared to male adult? Those are the same thing. Who are new to the industry, right? Yeah. So this is a question. Yeah. Say for example you're working with someone like Manuel Ferreira or Mick Blue or I don't know, name any other like giant name, right?
Yeah.
Top tier dude.
Work with them. Yeah.
Versus working with just an average talent. Do you put more work in? Do you try to put more effort in for the camera?
I definitely put the same amount of effort, but I think there's genuinely more excitement when they're bigger name, just because it's like, oh, I've watched him fuck girls for years, and like it's my turn. Right. I'm excited to see what this is like and what all the hype is about.
Yeah.
Whereas with a new guy, there's also a little concern about whether he can carry the scene. If I walk in and I know he's a star, like he's just gonna fucking knock it out. I got nothing to worry about. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of the worry out of your head.
Yeah. I know I can kind of just trust them to actually just let me have more of a good time and give more of a real response. Whereas like, with someone who's newer, like I'm a little more conscious of the angles and stuff because they're not so well aware of how to do things.
That's a very this is what I have always known to be true. So it's good to hear it.
Yeah.
Actually coming out of someone's mouth. Again, confirming that I am basically right about everything, guys. Look, I say shit on my solo shows, and then I have girls on, and they confirm everything that I tell you.
Yeah, you're not making it up.
I'm not making this shit up, man. Let's talk about. I'm gonna bring it up. Had a girl stick a tongue in my ass. No warning.
My god!
Almost had a heart attack.
Oh my god!
Anna is a big fan of you. Says you're adorable with killer cheekbones.
Oh, thank you, Anna.
Anna's one of our regulars. She's always in the chat. She loved the last two shows where I had Nathan Bronson and Robbie Echo on.
Oh, they're great. I don't work with either of them, but I totally have crushes on them too. Like they're
probably because they're the younger looking and you're younger looking.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna play their stepsister, but
yeah,
probably not.
I do work with mostly like older dudes.
Yeah, right. Well, you're welcome, Nathan. Thank you very much for filling this go. Now let's talk about legal porno.
All right.
Okay, so you've shot for legal porno. For those of you who are not aware, legal porno is a company in Europe, in Prague, and they're known for doing some of the most. They basically do the most extreme sex acts in the entire industry in the world. Yeah. So they're the only company that I'm aware of that do triple anal.
Yeah, like regularly.
Like every week, they do triple anal, and they do double anal a ton as well. They also do a lot of water sports stuff, like, piss play,
and some of it's just like anal only, no pussy. Like it's anal.
No,
like,
you don't get any attention in your
no,
pussy.
unless it's getting DP'd. Like
poor thing.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So that's the situation. You've worked for them once?
Oh God. I've been out there I think 3 times, and each time I do 3 or 4 scenes.
Okay, so you go out there and you're only there for like a week, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing like 3 or 4 scenes. You
get like every other day.
Yeah, you get a day off.
Yeah.
So you basically get 2 dicks in your ass, get a day off. 3 dicks in your ass, get a day off. You
and
haven't
then
done
fly your ass home.
You haven't done triple, right?
No.
You've only done.
But
two.
I've done like
DPs.
one in my pussy, and then so like I've done like a triple penetration, but not a triple anal.
Yes. So you've done 2 dicks in your ass and 1 in your pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Pretty sure.
That must you can remember. Yeah.
Oh god.
That's intense.
It's I consider it like, here's a good analogy, right? Like I'm a cyclist. I love riding a bike, right? Normal sex is kind of like taking your beach cruiser down the bike path on the beach, right? Fucking just cruising and taking in the sights and sounds, whatever. No rush, no nothing. But like doing double anal is like Tour de France. Like I am fucking pushing myself as hard as I possibly can. Do I enjoy it? Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy this sport, but I am like pushing myself. I am suffering, you know. I'm like not like suffering like, oh, this is horrible, I need this to stop, because obviously I'm continuing to do it. Like I want to complete this challenge, but it's such a like a circus stunt almost.
Yes.
That's another way to put it too. Is like yeah, I can do this. Watch me do this.
It's like a circus trick, yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy doing it. It feels good, but it's not making me have like the best orgasms of my life.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I actually have kind of vanilla sex that gets me off sometimes too. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But I enjoy the intensity and depravity of it.
The depravity is the main, because they get a lot of they try to they fly out American girls every so often.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of European girls.
Yes.
Did you notice? Did you also do some water sports stuff?
I do
for them.
With them, yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
I've done quite a few.
Because I don't do that at all.
2 or 3 at least.
What's that like?
Gosh. Well, fortunately, the men drink a lot of water, so it is very
watery, clear
and
pee.
Yeah, not piss flavored. I've found
not
that
piss flavored piss.
I enjoy being like pissed on and drinking piss, but I don't actually enjoy piss flavored piss.
You like the watery piss.
Yeah. I'm not really into the taste of piss, but the act of it is really hot. So as long as you're hydrated,
is it the degrading aspect of it?
Yeah, and also just the extreme servitude, you know. Within I think 2 days of meeting my daddy, I was like drinking his piss. We met at Burning Man though, so it was like that's a whole other story. But
it's amazing. I love it.
I'm really sweaty too, so like pretty much any scene I get into, I end up just drenched by the end. My hair is noodly, I'm super wet. So having like this element of like drinking and playing in like water isn't too.
Isn't that different?
No. But what I don't. I don't really like it when like I've drank so much piss that I can't take anymore. So I'm just kind of like out chucking piss, and it's like
Oh god. Jesus.
And they're still trying to like pee down my throat, and I literally just can't take anymore. Like that, there gets to be that point where I'm like, this is fucking crazy.
Because after that scene, you're peeing out their pee.
Yeah.
Their pee. That is a very.
A lot to think about.
I don't want to think about that too much.
And then I need to spend 24 hours just kind of
decompressing.
Deep self-care. Yeah. Every ointment you can imagine.
Jesus Christ. Because there's not a lot of Jack, welcome to the stream. The fuck did I walk into? Oh boy, did you walk into the middle of a story? So because there's a lot of what was I going to say? The European porn industry is a bit different to the American porn industry.
Yeah, it's strange.
What is it? What are your
I don't understand it a whole lot, but
really?
I know that there's a lot of European girls who only do European porn, but like they do really extreme, like all they do is really extreme porn, and I don't understand how that's like all they do.
The paycheck, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because they pay more.
Definitely, but like I'm just wondering how many girls, like, how is it that so many people can do double anal, whereas like Americans, like that's not a thing. Like, why? What is it about?
Grit and determination.
They're just a little more. They got more backbone or something.
It's called Eastern European grit and determination. They got backbones. You got to think about it. Like a girl is getting what a girl gets for like a double anal scene out there is like 2-3 months worth of wages.
True. Yeah.
For, like,
No, it's
an
great every
average
time I
person
go
out
out there, and I'm getting American rates, but I don't know what
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what they're getting paid either. I don't
Dude, I was working with chicks out there. Let me tell you, they were getting so in Europe when I was working in Budapest and I was working in Prague. Have you ever worked in Budapest?
No.
Nah, just Prague.
Just Prague.
Did you ever? You didn't work. You only worked for legal out there. No one else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some dudes would. Some of the European dudes would shoot for €100 a scene, which is about 150 American dollars. That was their rate. A boy-girl scene, not a blowbang, just a straight-up boy-girl scene.
Wow.
Even some of the dudes
So if you're in gangbangs, like it's probably less.
No, you'd get the same for a gangbang.
Okay.
You get the same for a gangbang. And then I know girls who were doing boy-girl scenes, anal scenes for like 300, €400. Yep.
I mean, it's just different circumstances, so I can understand, like.
Yep, it's very different. That's why they don't bring out American girls all the time.
Right.
Because it's a hell of a lot cheaper for them to shoot
Oh yeah.
European girls.
Yeah, I get paid well. My flight's taken care of. Like,
yeah. It's all sorted.
It's great.
But it's what's your impression of the European male performers that you've worked with?
The guys at Legal Porno have been pretty damn professional. They show up, get their dick hard. I don't got to worry about it, and they're hydrated, and they come on command almost, and then they're kind of done with it.
And they're done with it again.
They're also very flirty. I think they get really excited when there's an American girl. And they're a lot more flirtatious than male talent here in America.
How so?
But they're like more giddy. They act almost more like teenage boys. I think they're just kind of like, oh, like, and they just want to like give you a nice squeeze, and they're a little more handsy and such. And that's fine. But I've only really done the gangbang, so I haven't really got to work like one-on-one
with any dudes.
With a handful of guys. Yeah. So there's definitely this mentality of just like they're kind of hanging out with the boys, and they're kind of just there to have a good time. They're not really trying to get to know me at all, except for just super like objectifying, which is fine.
That's the exact sort of mentality I've had on gangbangs here, and it's because we don't really get. Maybe it's different for those guys because those legal porno guys work with each other all the time.
Yes, sometimes 2-3 times a day. That blows my mind. I'm like, how
But with us, it's like we don't really get to hang out with each other
unless it's a gangbang.
Unless it's a gangbang. So we're like shooting the shit. Like, that's what I said with Robbie and Nathan. It was like we're having a blast while we're hanging out with each other, joking around.
Right. You're like paying more attention to each other than the.
We're just having more of a laugh with each other than with the girl. But we obviously will get gropey and stuff with the chick. But it's funny you said that because that's been my observation as well. Is that the European male performers will be a lot more handsy. Than Americans, and
there's more of a flirtatious nature just in general there.
Well, not with the girls.
No.
So my experience has been. I agree with with your side of it. The European dudes are far more gropey and handsy than say American performers out here, and I think the reason for that is Me Too.
Definitely, yeah.
That shit doesn't fly in Europe.
Yeah.
So the dudes are just fucking having a grope. They don't give a shit with it. They don't get. If the girl complains, bam, she's out of the industry.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. Over here, if a girl complains, the dude's career's over.
Right.
So the dudes are a lot more hesitant.
And I don't agree. Like, I don't think either extreme is
yeah. There's got to be a place for like girls to sort of like feel fucking safe.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I am also very into there being some real chemistry and and there needs to be some interaction before the camera starts.
Yeah.
Yes,
I agree. And so what I'm leading on to your point, what I'm going to say, when you said like it's more flirty in Europe, the girls not at all.
The girls in Europe?
European girls, not flirty at all in my experience.
No, yeah, they seem. I've only met like a few of them in passing. They barely speak English, so I kind of got that like
that doesn't help. That doesn't really help.
Yeah.
But they can be, but that doesn't even necessarily matter. Because I've worked. Here's the thing. So I'm talking specifically about Eastern European chicks. They're a lot more cold.
Okay.
And there's none of that chemistry building before the scene. And I'd say this specifically for Eastern European women because when I've worked in Europe, I've worked with American girls. English girls, Spanish girls are fantastic.
Oh, bet.
I've worked with Colombian girls. Yeah. Colombian girls are fantastic.
I bet.
To work with. It's all like I had this one Colombian girl. She wouldn't like from the moment we saw each other. We were making out, and she was sucking my dick.
That's great.
We're getting through the dialogue. Like while we're waiting for everyone to set up cameras, she's like just sitting there like going to town on me because she's like it's like there's this fire.
Yeah.
But Eastern European chicks, that shit ain't. There's a couple that are like that. And they're fantastic, and they've been around for a while, and they're good performers.
Right.
But the newer girls, the girls who are in and out in like 6 months,
Yeah.
nah,
No.
not like that at all. So it's a very interesting. And I think that's
do
why.
They even like talk to you? Like how cool?
Not really, because they don't speak English.
Oh, right.
So there's very little even communication that's going on. So if they're not communicating with their body, and they can't communicate with their words, there's kind of not really much to build on.
Right.
Which is why I think a lot of the European dudes are far more handsy in general anyway. Because it's like, well, she's not going to give me anything. I'm going to get what I need.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That does make sense.
Yeah.
They're like, they kind of have to have something to work with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got a credit. So as a guy, you got a credit from yourself. Jack Napier, you Europeans are just natural charmers. Not you, Jack. I know you. I know what kind of scoundrel you are. Let's see if we got any more questions up here. Does that mean? See this one? Double.
Does this mean what if you're? Oh yeah. Two at the same time.
Oh my god. If it would happen. Just curious if it should happen that a colleague were to develop a crush, catch feelings because of good dopamine chicken, or exceptional cock or pussy, right? Or exceptional pussy. How would you go about dealing with that? If a colleague catches feelings for you, how would you deal about it? I mean, it would manifest into good chemistry on the set, and then
as long as they don't like, DM me afterward.
Like saying I love you.
Yeah, but that's never really happened.
That hasn't really happened. Like,
I mean,
like if I have good chemistry with a chick and like on set, and then we're talking after set, it's usually like, hey, let's fuck again.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Like, yeah.
I haven't had anybody who's just like tried to
wife you up.
Exactly. There's none of that. There's a handful of guys I've worked with who like I think there's a mutual crush there. Like we really enjoy working with each other. But
it doesn't really go beyond that. Well, what are some of your best companies to work for?
Definitely kink.com. I've really enjoyed my work with New Sensations, but I actually haven't worked with them since I've been Zoe.
I haven't worked with them for like 12 months.
Yeah.
They stopped hiring me.
That's weird.
Don't know why. Maybe because I got a bit chubby around the midsection.
Didn't we all though?
Yeah,
but, even I am still quite thin, but this is the heaviest I've even been. So.
Really?
Yeah. I gained weight just.
Yeah, you gaining weight is very different from every other girl gaining weight.
Just a little bit.
Tiny bit. Yeah, you've actually got some meat on your bones now.
Basically, yeah. I look a lot healthier.
Would you ever do the website Premium Bukake?
Where you swallow 100 loads. Woof.
Woof. Look at that reaction.
I would do it. Not really into.
Because, like you said before, like you're into it. If you're into the dude, you're into his semen.
Yeah.
But if there's 100 dudes, you can't be into all of them at the same time.
Exactly, and there's also the factor of like literally having my stomach fill up to the point where I'm like overflowing. Like I did a 10 guy glory hole, and and so that was just 10 loads, and I think by the 8th guy, I felt so bad because I was like gagging up nut onto this guy's dick, and there's like 2 more to go. And so they're coming down my throat and it's coming out my nose, and I'm like trying to like blow the next guy, and I'm like, oh my god, it was just so gnarly. Like
I'm gonna need a drink of water after hearing that story. Oh god,
so gnarly. I just felt like I'm into it. I'm having a great time, but I'm just thinking about these guys. Like, how do they feel about just like up trucking nut on, and they have to come. They still have to come. So like 100 loads. I don't know.
That's a lot of loads. It's a lot of loads.
Literally, where the fuck is it gonna go?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, most of it is gonna have to go on you.
Yeah.
Because there's no way it's all fitting in your stomach. You have a tiny stomach. It's not all gonna fit in your stomach. Let's finish off with how about we go through a trip through your Instagram message requests?
Yeah. Want to do Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram's always the funniest.
Yeah.
Do you have your message request open on Twitter?
I think so.
Yeah. Twitter, I mean,
I get the request, but I don't actually.
Because with Instagram, it's like it's not just porn fans. It's like dudes who just randomly come across you as well.
Yeah, they don't even know you're a porn star. Yeah, exactly. That's the best one. They're like, you do porn, and I'm like, what did you think?
Oh my god.
Okay, so we're gonna go to message requests.
Yeah, let's just have a go.
Oh, so
this looks like a great start. If a millionaire miraculously slid into your DMs, what would you do? I think he's trying to hint that he's a millionaire. Let's have a look at his profile. 3,000 followers. Okay, this is just a bunch of shots of other people.
Yeah, looks
other
like
celebrities.
Pictures from the internet being reposted
on his page. Yeah, this is not an actual artist.
So,
an artist.
Okay.
Okay.
If a millionaire miraculously slid into your DMs, what would you do? I wouldn't be too surprised. I've had multiple very wealthy men try and leverage their wealth in a way to get my attention, but with no intention of giving me money. And I'm like, hey,
pay up, sucker.
Yeah, like buy me something, tits or a car. Or
buy me tits.
Like, come on.
I like that.
You can't just be like, I have all this and kind of dangle it in front of my face. That's kind of rude. And I'm not an escort. Like I have done some escorting, but it's just not my thing.
So it goes,
I like the long ones.
I know that'll do. I don't put much effort into this whole Instagram profile I have going on, but you seem cool as fuck. So I'm traveling north, and I'm not gonna dox him. I'm in blank right now. Just got back from having cocktails, and you should totally call me. And he drops his number.
Oh my god.
52. Just check the guy. Let's check out his profile. Oh, I love this stuff.
Private. 52 followers.
Always private. Have you seen this profile? Nathan Bronson memes?
Oh my god, yeah. So I have questions like, what is this?
It's a fan of his who just... So Nathan Bronson...
I thought he did it.
No.
It seems like something he would do.
It does seem like something he would do. So our friend Nathan, who was on the show on the show Wednesday, he has an account...
Just put all his face in
which is called... A fan of his created an account called Nathan Bronson Memes, which is literally just them putting his face using the Face app, the Face Swap kind of app, and putting his face on a bunch of different celebrities, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. That's the entire Instagram account, and it's got like 50 followers. It's not bad.
And Instagram just keeps telling me I need to follow it. I'm like,
Me too. I get recommended this account all the goddamn time.
Like, they have figured out the algorithm somehow.
Let's go back into your DMs.
Yes.
And let's see if we can scroll through some more.
All right, that's something.
Hi, how you? Video chat. That's the thing I never get. Dudes just video chatting. Oh, would you consider having a sugar daddy?
If the pay is good.
If the pay is good.
I mean, yeah, I am absolutely open to it. I'm on a sugar dating website.
Salt? Not sugar. Fucking
Seeking
arrangement?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm open to it. It's not my job, but if the right person came along and wanted to dote on me, then I would.
Then you'll take money.
Yeah, but like this guy is... There's no way.
Four posts, private account.
No offense, but you just can't afford to be my sugar daddy.
Ching. Right there, lads. What else we got? Love hearts. Do you enjoy gangbangs?
Or do you just do it for the money?
Well,
we answered that one.
You do enjoy gangbangs.
And I like the money. I'm like, I'm getting paid for this?
You get both of them. Love heart. Will you want to build a family?
Will you want to build family? Oh, here, are you mentally ill?
It's a lovely way to introduce yourself on Instagram. Are you mentally ill? No, she's just perverted.
Do they really?
She's just perverted.
Like, there's no way they actually expect responses. That's what I
assume. I don't know.
Like, they just assume that they're going to be ignored. Yeah, go for it.
Look, do you notice how none of the girls I've had on this show, and you've probably seen this, like, give a shit that I'm going through their fucking Instagram DMs? Tell me in the comments section below on this video, would any of you, would your girlfriend let you do this? Anyone watching, or like an ex-partner of yours, would they let you just randomly do this? Because I'm curious. Because I
wonder what normal girls' DMs are like, though.
Pretty girls are the same.
Yeah, just any pretty girl, it doesn't matter.
If I hang out with this, she's a stripper though. But if I hang out with this stripper tonight, I'll go through her DMs and find out. Can you send me sexy pics? They're literally on the fucking internet.
Oh, I love this guy. He sends me. I've deleted it once before, but he has sent this 100 times. You are more than attractive. Would like to get to know you. He has sent that same message 100 times.
I have one dude in my. I think he got his account deleted because he was a gay fan, and every fucking time I posted an Instagram story, he would reply to it with the words "penis centimeter?" ? After every single story.
Oh my God. Like, you can't just go look
You can't just look it up. It's literally on Pornhub. It's in my profiles. Like, it's the easiest question in the world to find an answer to. Why do you have to like reply to that?
And repetitively.
Every fucking there was a period of like every day he was sending me that message.
I can't wrap my head around that.
What else we got here? What else we got here? One of your favorite, one of your audiences of are you a porn star? Well, that's a pretty obvious question.
I have like this guy that I dated for like 3 weeks, which was like a huge mistake. He constantly messages me.
Oh my god.
And and I have never responded.
Hello, I'm a filmmaker. He said the same message again. Hello, I'm a filmmaker living in LA, and if you're ever interested in video work of any kind, let me know. Always looking for awesome people to collaborate with. Is he legit? Is he legit though? Is he legit? He actually might be legit.
Yeah.
Huh. This actually might be a decent, but he has sent the exact same message 3 times.
There's a handful of messages I'll get from like LA creatives.
Yeah, because you've been here for a while, so you're kind of in that scene. So there's a bit of legitimacy to some of these.
Yeah, and so I feel kind of bad that I pass up on some of these. Like, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I probably would have just like done it for free because I wanted to create cool stuff.
Right.
But like then I learned that I need to make money and I can't just be creating shit for funsies.
Yeah, right.
So that's kind of cool.
Right now, that's an interesting question. How would having a sugar daddy work with having a dom daddy?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, it's tough for me because I'm honest. I'm not gonna lie to a sugar daddy and say that I don't see any other people. You're my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like I'm honest. Like I do porn. I have partners. So it just has to be someone who is kind of okay with that. But I'm not treating anybody like a cuck. It's still like when I'm with you, like we're spending our time together. But my daddy dom, like he just wants me to get all the attention and get that money if I can.
And behave, be a good girl.
And be a good girl and truly be like a slut and be happy to be there and reflect well on him.
And take responsibility and do the right things in your life so that you're paying your bills, eating right, going to the gym, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and my daddy is very proud of what a happy slut I am. So if I'm exercising that, then like he's proud.
And he was in the chat earlier on. If you just tuned in, you can watch the replay and see actually us interacting with him in the chat.
Yeah. Victor Styles.
Yeah, Victor Styles. Do you have a post or pre-shoot routine? Good question, Ed.
Depends on the shoot.
Anal, obviously.
Anal is very ritualistic.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's pretty much just take a nice long shower and fucking just make myself feel as sexy as possible. Kind of get myself in the mood.
Yep.
I used to always do my research for like my co-star, so I would see who my co-star is, and then I'd go and watch their porn and like see what they're like. But I stopped doing that because there was a handful of times where like I get really like excited to work with someone, and then they get replaced at the last minute or something, and then I'm like totally looking forward to this thing that doesn't happen. So now I kind of like to be in this headspace of like, who am I getting to fuck today, or let's say I've worked with you, like I've worked with you before, but I'm not gonna go like watch your porn or watch our porn. I'm just gonna like get excited about what might happen, and I'll start fantasizing and things like that. But as far as like,
so that's your pre-game routine.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Just kind of headspace. And, but
I should ask more girls that. I don't think you think you're the first girl I've asked that to.
Yeah, I still get a little nervous too.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. It's like a nervous excitement kind of feeling.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you need that. You kind of need that for the chemistry to spark up, right?
Yeah, I think so.
This is a good question for us to just kind of finish on. Who is the #1 male performer in your opinion right now? In my opinion, it's gonna be it's probably Manuel Ferreira. I think he's the top dog. He definitely deserves the credit and awards and respect that he gets for sure. I'm not even going on like when I answer this question. I'm not even going on like awards and stuff. I'm going on who do the girls like working with the most. Mm-hmm. It's hard though because he was my first ever. Right. So like. Started at the top. He started right at the top. He was whispering the naughtiest shit in my ear that I thought was actually gonna happen afterward. Like he was like put on his like dirty French accent and saying crazy shit, and I was like, and then I like that. Like he was, I don't know, it was super fucking hot. I don't even remember exactly what he said, but I was
surprised when after the shoot, he's just like, "Mwah, have a good day. Thank you. Bye." And I was like,
Go.
"Oh, you're not going to take me home and do all these horrible things? Oh, okay. That's just like being a good performer."
Yeah, it gets you in the mood.
Exactly.
Awesome.
But the number one talent.
And how would you sort of, and how have you come to that conclusion? I guess is sort of the follow up to your answer, if you have one.
This is gonna be controversial.
Fuck it, it's my show. I'm the one getting in trouble. You don't have to tell anybody.
No,
I know.
so
I'm open. I'm telling as someone who doesn't actually fuck the male talent.
Right.
I'm just telling you my observed opinion on like what I see girls say.
I've worked with James Dean a handful of times.
Aha.
And
This
he's
is
fucking phenomenal.
I've heard girls say that.
Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. He does not have the best reputation, but every time I've worked with him, he's just been the easiest, most professional, sexiest, fun. Like, we have just a great fucking time, and he's just full of wisdom, and he just like leaks wisdom and is just so great to work with. So the impression I get with him is like maybe he made some mistakes, did some dumb shit, but he's someone who learned from that. Right. I like the person I've worked with is like a grown man and not like not a boy who thinks he's a rock star.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I didn't know about all that controversy until like after I worked with him.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I was like, ooh.
Was I supposed to orgasm? Oh, I don't know.
And it was just such a contrast to the person I'd experienced. And so again, that's not something like I tweet about because I feel like I'm just gonna get attacked by the hordes of people who don't like him. Yeah. But I can only speak highly of him. Yeah. And even when I've seen him in person and run into him in person, like just absolutely pleasant. And...
Yeah, I had lunch with him once, and he was great guy. So, but that's just my you know.
But I've also worked with him.
Having lunch with him,
I think 3 or 4 times, which is more than I've worked with any other talent.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What sites does he shoot for?
It's always been New Sensations.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, he and I have done a handful of New Sensations.
Oh
no, and I did Analyzed.
That's his site.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's one of those people. You talk about like people not really being. Like there's being a lot of secrets within the industry. Mm-hmm. He is a guy because like I said, I had lunch with him. Mm-hmm. He's a man who knows a lot.
Yes.
About how to make money in this industry.
Yes. Yeah.
He's like a secret genius.
Yes. Yeah.
And people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't brag about it. He doesn't brandish it. Nope. He just does what he needs to do.
That's why also working with him is great. Because I just feel like I grow as a performer every time I work with him.
Yeah, he really knows how to do this job. And he's been doing it since he was like 18. So
yeah, exactly.
That kind of doesn't surprise.
So I wouldn't say like he's the #1 performer right now by any means, but like in my book, he's been fucking fantastic.
There you go. That's a good answer. It's an honest, genuine answer. John Doe says, "Congrats, Stirling, on the choice of guest today. It's been a very informative show. It has been.
Thank you.
I've learned a ton today.
Thank you. I feel like I've just started."
Yeah, we've been going for almost 2 hours. This time just flew by.
Yeah,
this is brilliant. But we'll wrap it up. Where can everybody find you? Your Instagram, your Twitter. Let them know if it's safe for work, not safe for work.
Yeah, so Instagram's gonna be safe for work, and Twitter is not. But my handles are the same. It's at Zoe Sparx, just my name, ZoeSparx. You can also check out my website, which is zoesparx.com, and it's totally free, and it'll just direct you to all the other websites that I'm a part of. Yeah. I also have a list of all the scenes that I've done on my website, which is terribly neglected, and I need to update it. But
you're the only person I know who does that.
I thought it was a great idea.
That puts I have a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
In my,
it's hard to keep track of them. Sometimes they come out and I don't even know. And I'm like, oh shit. So the list is seriously lacking, but it is at least the first year or so of Zoe Sparx. Is on there. But yeah, you can find me.
There you go.
There we go. Instagram and Twitter is Zoe Sparx.
Always there. Thank you so much for joining us today, Zoe.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been great.
It's been great. Such an opening experience for me. I feel like I'm breaking out of my cocoon.
Good. It's an absolute pleasure. Don't forget, smash the like button if you're still tuning in. If you're already watching us on the replay, hit that like button. Really helps the channel grow. Share it around if you're a fan of Zoe's and you want other fans to see what she's actually like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Give it a share.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys.
Let more people see it. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you see every time I go live. I do live shows every day at the moment. That will taper off.
I try to hang out most days.
And Zoe's actually in the chat sometimes, so it's good. It's good. You can jump in and chat with her. And look, now you've been on one. Maybe you'll keep tuning back in.
Become a regular.
Maybe become a regular. All right.
Awesome.
Well, let's crank some music up. And
all right, guys, stay sexy.
Damn right. And that one.